Hello, dear students. In our last class, we have discussed about what is protocol and some types of communication protocols that are TCP, IP, and UDP. So today it is a continue class of types of communication protocol. So today we have covered about the rest part about the communication protocols. So my name is Bankeshwar Panigrahi, faculty, BCA department, Chikiti Mahavidyalaya. So today we are going to discuss about file transfer protocol. So why it is used? So basically when we are transferring some files from the client to the server or in client server environment or from one computer to another computer, when we are trying to transfer a file, at that time we are using the FTP or file transfer protocol. So its main function is to transfer a file from one computer to another computer or from server to client or from client to server. Okay, so here are the notes given, that is FTP is used to copy files from one host to another, and FTP offers the mechanism for the same in following manner. So what are the FTP creates two processes such as control process and a data transfer process. So why control process is there? Because when we are transferring a file from one location to another location or from one computer to another computer, there some type of controlling is working, because whatever the sender wants to transfer the message towards the receiver, that message reached at the receiver is correct message, and it is also in time, it should reach in time, and all these factors are comes under the control process. That's why FTP creates two processes such as control process and a data transfer process. So another control is so why another functionality of controlling is that when we want to send a message to another site, then that message should reach at the appropriate address whatever given by the sender. That is also a major part of controlling. That's why FTP creates two processes, control process and data transfer process, at both ends, that is client as well as at server end. So next point is given here. FTP establishes two different connections. One is for data transfer and other is for control information. So what type of information is there? Any type of information, that is text information, audio, video, image, graphics, any type of information is there. So any type of file transmission is there. So control connection is made between control process, while data connection is made between. Okay, so control connection is made in between the control processes, while data connection. Okay, so this is the diagram. So here the user is there. This is the user interface, control process, data transfer process. This is the storage location, the secondary storage or primary storage location. This is the data connection. Here in the diagram it is given as data connection. One line is data connection and another line is control connection. So control connection basically functions of control process, and the data connection is used for data process, data transfer process. From where to where? From one storage location to another storage location. And in between the two, client and server, so there is transmission control protocol and internet protocol are working together, because transmission control protocol is used for transferring a message from one location to another location by the use of medium. That's why in the transmission, to control the transmission process, we are using the TCP, and internet protocol is used for, because here we are using the data connection and the internet connection, that's why IP is needed. So in between the client and server, how they are connected? In the form of internet or data connection, and the data connection is totally controlled by the two type of protocols, TCP and IP protocol. Okay, so this is all about the diagram. So another is Telnet. So what is Telnet? It is a protocol used to log into remote computer on the internet. Remote computer in the sense, in a far distance computer, that is called as remote computer on the internet. There are a number of Telnet clients having user-friendly user interface. The following diagram shows a person is logged in to a computer A, and from there he remote logged into computer B. That means here computer A, so it is a user, that is Rahul. So Rahul first login into computer A. After that login is complete, he logged again into the remote location computer, that is computer B. So here by the Rahul is connected to the computer by using the network, and the Telnet is working as a protocol while logging Rahul into the remote computers B. Okay. So this is the diagrammatic representation of working principle of Telnet protocol. Okay. This is the computer A, this is the computer B. Okay. So when he logged into the computer B, Rahul, then there is a message for the Rahul, welcome Rahul. Okay. So next is HTTP, that means Hypertext Transfer Protocol. So what is given here? HTTP is a communication protocol. It defines mechanism for communication between browser and the web server. Okay. So it is basically used as a protocol where the communication between browser and the web server. Okay. So it is also called request and response protocol because the communication between browser and server takes place in request and response pairs. How? User, if wants to get some information in the internet, then first he opens a web browser and writes something. When it sends a signal to the server, that is called as request, and when the request reaches to the server, if server founds that request and post some message or information towards the client, then from server to client, that is called as the response, and from client to server, whatever the request is sent, that is called as request. So this is sent through the browser. That's why it is called as between the communication between browser and server takes place in request and response pairs. So first, how they are working? First is HTTP request. Then HTTP request comprises of lines which contains request line, header field and message body. So the first line, that is the request line, specifies the request method, that is get or post. Okay. The second line specifies the header which indicates the domain name of the server from where index.htm is retrieved. Next one is HTTP response. Like HTTP request, HTTP response also has certain structure. That is, HTTP response contains status line, headers and message body. Okay. So this is the diagrammatic representation of working of HTTP protocol. Okay, so here it is the web server and here is the web browser in our computer system or in mobile phones, smartphones. So HTTP client, that means user, first requests some message to the server, that is through the web browser, that is called as HTTP request message. And when the server sends some response, some messages to the web browser, to the client through the web browser, so that is called as response, HTTP response message. So HTTP response message generally comes from the web server or HTTP server, and the HTTP request message generally sent from the through the web browser by the HTTP clients. Okay. So next protocol, it is given that PPP. So that means it is point to point protocol. So how the point to point protocol works? Here the point to point protocol or PPP is a data link layer protocol. As I have told you that what is data link layer and what are the layers present for communication, that all are defined under the OSI model, and we have discussed about the OSI model in our coming sessions or coming classes. Okay, for that time we have only go through the PPP is a data link layer protocol that enables transmission of TCP/IP traffic over serial connections like telephone lines. When we are using the telephone lines, so there are multiple connections available there. So that's why we are using there for controlling the transmission process or communication, we are using the PPP, that means point to point protocol we are using. So this the working method for PPP is a framing method to clearly define end of one frame and start of another, incorporating errors detection as well. A framing method to clearly define end of one frame and start of another, incorporating errors detection as well. That means whenever the point to point protocol works, the messages are transferred in the form of a framing, then it should clearly defines that what is the end of one frame and what is the start of another frame, and it controls the errors detection as well. Okay. So next one is link control protocol for bringing communication lines of authenticating and bringing them down when no longer needed. Another type of protocol is there, that is link control protocol. It is generally used for communication lines for authenticating and bringing them down when no longer needed. That means when a authenticated user wants to communicate with another user or another system or another device, then it first log in. After that, when he is the authenticated user, then he works or communicate with another person or another device. After the total communication completed, then it bringing them down when no longer needed. That means when he does not want to communicate for long time, then he should log out, and that process is known as the bringing them down when no longer needed. So next one is the network control protocol, that is NCP, for each network layer protocol supported by other networks. Here another layer is there, that is network layer. Also it is in OSI model, and we will discuss about the network layer in our OSI model. Okay. So using PPP, home users can avail internet connection over telephone lines. What is the use here? What is the function? Using PPP, home users can avail internet connection over telephone lines. Okay. Next one is there SMTP. So what is the full form of SMTP? Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. It is used basically in mail transfer facilities or mail transfer systems. When a user wants to send a mails to the end user, then he uses the protocol, and the protocol works there is SMTP. So it was first proposed in 1982. So it is a standard protocol used for sending email efficiently and reliably over the internet. So SMTP is application level protocol. SMTP is connection oriented protocol, as I have told in the last class, that is what is connection oriented protocol and connection less protocol. So what is connection oriented protocol again? So it is a protocol used to establish a data communication session in which Endpoint devices use primarily protocols to establish end-to-end connections, and then subsequent data stream is delivered in sequential transfer mode. So this is the control connection oriented protocol, and SMTP is text based protocol. That means protocol works when we are sending some text based messages or mails to our destination end or to the next device. It handles exchange of messages between email servers over TCP/IP network. So apart from transferring email, SMTP, the mistake is here, SMTP not SMPT, also provides notification regarding incoming mails. That means it also provides some notifications of incoming mails. So next is POP, that is Post Office Protocol. So here the notes are given. POP stands for Post Office Protocol. It is generally used to support a single client. There are several variants of POP, but the POP3 is the current standard. So what is the today's standard for using the post office protocol? That is POP. So why it is used? It is generally used to support a single client. That means when multiple clients are working, then it is not applicable there, but when a single client is used or single client is working with the client server environment, then we are using the POP protocol, that is post office protocol. So it is an application layer protocol. It is also a layer in the OSI model, but we are going to discuss in our coming classes more precisely. We are discussing about the application layer and the number of layers present in OSI model that helps in communication. Okay. So next is, since POP supports offline access to the messages, thus requires less internet usage time. That means it also provides a facility, that is offline access of the messages. Okay, so for that it requires less internet usage, because we are accessing our files and messages offline also. That's why no internet usage is there used for accessing the files in offline mode. That's why it requires less internet usage time. So POP does not allow such facility. Why it does not allow such facility? Because here we are using the POP supporting for offline access to the messages, and there is no internet connection is there. That's why it does not allow the search facility. Okay, it allows only one mailbox to be created on server, and it is not suitable for accessing non-mail data. That means it is suitable in accessing the mail data only. If we want to access some mail data, then it is not suitable, or it is the protocol that is not suitable there. This is the POP protocol, and this is all about the protocols we are using in our communication, or types of protocols in our communication. So what are they? What we have discussed so far, again repeatedly. So first one is FTP. So FTP is generally used for transferring some files from one system to another system, or from one computer to another computer, or client to server, and vice versa. We are using the FTP or file transfer protocol. So this is the working structure of FTP. Next one is Telnet. So why we are using the Telnet? Telnet protocol used to log in into remote computer on the internet. That means a computer that is present far distance from us or from the client. Then if the client want to access that computer in the form of internet, then he uses the protocol as Telnet there. Next one is Hypertext Transfer Protocol. So it is a communication protocol, and generally it works in between the browser and the web server, and two types of functions are working here, that is HTTP request and HTTP response. So HTTP request is having three parts, that is request line, header field, and message body, and the response part is also having three parts, that is status line, headers, and message body. Okay, so it works under the two methods, that is one is get and another one is post. Okay. So next, it is the diagrammatic representation of communication between the web browser and web server, and HTTP client who uses the web browser, and this is the HTTP web server. Okay, so this is a request sent by the HTTP client, that is called as a HTTP request message, and whatever the message passed from the web server to the client, that is called as HTTP response message. Okay. So next one is we are using here PPP, that is called as point to point protocol. Generally it is used in serial connections like telephone lines. Next one is SMTP, that is simple mail transfer protocol. It is used when we want to send a mail from one system to another system. There we are using the SMTP transfer protocol. Next one is POP. It stands for Post Office Protocol. It is generally used to support single client only. Okay, and today we are using the POP3 is the current standard of POP protocol. So this is all about the communication protocols. Thank you.